Namaskar. Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. What is going on? What is going on with the farmers? Lose at the ballot box? Go back to the farmers' agitation? Is this what is happening? That's one problem that we are going to be discussing in some detail. The second one that we are going to be talking about is Mohan Bhagwat ji's call for Hindus. Very important one. Why is Mr. Owaisi's knickers getting into a twist? Why is Samajwadi Party getting so upset about this? We'll know all this with our guest, Sumit Pirji, and then you can ask any questions of Sumit ji and he'll answer all those questions. Sumit ji, namaskar. Welcome to P Guru's channel. How are you?
Namaskar, Pranam, Jai Siya Ram, Radhe Radhe, all good and fine, sir. But Ashirwad of Lahan Mahakal and your blessings. Namaskaram to you and Namaskaram and Pranam to all the viewers everywhere in the world.
So good to have you again back, Sumit ji. So I have a question. And one religion has 4 wives, unlimited number of children per wife. They treat their women like a cottage industry. And if the Hindus give a call for having more children per family, their knickers are getting into a twist. What is going on, sir?
Sir, in the name of Bhagwan Sri Ganesha, let's do the Sri Ganesha of today's our vlog and broadcast. Look, it's a very simple thing. I think when you look at the whole scenario, what Dr. Mohan Bhagwat ji has told, I have been telling people, look, he's not a population scientist. He's a political leader and a tall political leader. And he's kind of a kingmaker, if you want to put it as simple as that. Now, if he comes and if he addresses a problem, there are certain things which must be put in the context and which people must understand very clearly where this all is coming from. The first thing is, what is the fertility rate of India? The fertility rate of India as on today is 2.01. Sir, you know at 2.1 or slightly higher, you're just able to replace your population. That means overall the population of the India is not replacing itself. It has happened for the first time in last 2 years approximately. We are not able to replace our population. Our demographic dividend will last for 70 years. After 70 years, it will overturn and it will be a demographic debacle if things continue like that. Now, what does Mr. Bhagwat say? Mr. Bhagwat says, all those people, all those communities, all those races which are not able to retain their population, they get into an existential crisis. Now, as you know, Bhagwat ji is not a population scientist, neither he's an economist, he's a leader, Neta. What does he intend to say? Let's break it to the brass tacks for you. Mr. Bhagwat is very clear on one thing, and I don't think he could be having more direct. And I think he has raised the alarm at the right point of time because the kind of data and some numbers we're going to share with you that is going to baffle your imagination and it will get you really thinking what I'm talking about now. Bharat birth rate 2.01. We are not replacing ourselves, you know this. What is the birth rate of the 85% of the population of Bharat? It has come down to 1.9. So Hindus are shrinking. Hindus are goddamn shrinking. Now, this is not by what I'm casting aspersions. Look at the latest data which was out a couple of months back. After population, Hindu population has shrunk by 8%. But what? 85% of 8%. And Muslim population has increased by 40%. 40%. Smell coffee. And what is the birth rate of Muslims? 2.36 or 2.4%. That means the Muslim population is constantly increasing. Because at 2.1 you maintain and after 2.5 you start growing. So while as Hindu population is shrinking, the Muslim population is expanding. And what happened in the last 75 years? You Hindus have come down, including me, we have come down by 8% and Muslims have gone up by 40%. And what is the birth rate of Christians? 1.88, shrinking. What is the birth rate of Sikh brothers? 1.6. What is the birth rate of, let's say, Jain brothers? 1.6. And what is the birth rate of Buddhists? Very bad, 1.4. Except Muslims, there is no population in the India which is increasing in numbers. So Hindus are shrinking and other minorities are also shrinking. Hindus have already taken a brunt of 8% and the fertility rate of India is going down. Mohan Bhagwat ji is very clear. If it continues, if you Hindus, which constitute 85% of Bharat, if you keep on shrinking, one day demography will change. One day geography will change. One day territories will change. And one day, government and governance systems will change. It's a very simple. Look at the Islamic world. How does it go? Up to 30 And let me remind you, it was 23 or 24% Muslim population. We had to have a partition in the country. Let's not forget that. 23, 24% we had a partition, right? Now, the way things are growing, if it continues like this, there will be a time when the Muslim population will Hindu population another 30, 40, 50 years. After 50 years, you can just have a chill pill, nothing is going to happen. But when you wake up to 50 years, I am giving you a scenario. Imagine a situation. Muslim population is 40%, you are reduced to 60%. It is possible, mathematically it will happen. I say, Sumit bhai, so still we are 60%. How does it matter? Look, at 50% Muslims want division. At 51% they want Sharia. At 60% they want Jizya. Jizya is the tax which Kafirs had to pay to live in the kingdom. Either you convert to Islam or you pay this tax called Jizya. And by the way, Hindus have been paying Jizya for 600 years. Jizya is a tax to practice your religion and to live as Hindus. And what will happen in neighboring countries around you? What is Bhagwat Ji telling you indirectly? He cannot speak as openly as I can, but I can today speak as openly as I can. What is the birth rate of Pakistan? 3.4%. Pakistan will double in 20 years. 25 crore, 99.9% Muslim, 99.8, let me give 2%, or 99. Okay, for the sake of not having a better word. Now, so in 20 years, Muslim population in Pakistan will be around 48, 49 crores. The way population is growing in India, in next 20, 30 years, it will reach somewhere around 30 crores. So 30 plus 40, 70. Bangladesh is at 1.9, but the way Islamists are taking over, it will reach 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 very soon. So you will have around 25, 30 in Bangladesh. Another 20 years, 40 years down from now, 2024, 34, 44, 54, 64. Me and Sri sir, by the grace of God, will be still hale, hearty and living, but maybe older than this. Though we'll be young, they'll say, but physically we might look older. You know what is going to happen? The combined Muslim population of the continent, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh, I'm not counting Maldives and Burma and all, will be more than the Hindu population of Bharat. And if that scenario happens, what Akhand Bharat we are talking right now, it might not happen now, then the Muslims will push for Akhand Bharat because they will be in majority. And if that population happens, you know what happens to the Hindus? Itihas gawah hai. History has its own lessons. Wherever the population of Hindus has diminished, Hinduism has evaporated, gone, killed. You want to know examples? Afghanistan, Maharaja Ranjit Singh won it. What is the plight of Hindus in Afghanistan? 0.1%. All gone. 6 gone. Pakistan, gone. Bangladesh, getting killed every day. Right? And let me not take you far off. Kashmir, 30 years back. Where is the Hindu population of Kashmir? Gone. Kerala, gone. Sambal, Hindu exodus has started. There's a lot of media channels hardly saw reporting it. And so, if you look at the history, wherever Hindu population has gone down, you don't retain the land. Can you get it straight from me? I can't be more straight. You don't retain land, you don't retain power, you don't retain anything. You are finished. There are only two options: convert, die, or pay jizya. Which of the three you want to choose? And we have paid jizya for 600 years. Now there will be another 50, 60 years, and if Hindus don't wake up, you will end up again paying jizya, and you will be again, and there'll be no Guru Gobind Singh, there'll be no Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Rana Pratap, Maharana Pratap, Maharana Sangha, who will come to liberate you. There'll be none of these heroes are going to come to liberate you. So what will you be left with? You will either convert, or you will perish, or something will happen to you. And that is the political side of it. Now let me even talk about some other sides of it. This is the political side. What are the problems we're having as Hindus? As Hindus, we have one big problem. First of all, we had this fancy of hum do hamare do. We were hell-bent on only two children. Huh? Even if you were the richest person, you would not have more than 2 kids, as if you could not afford more than 2 kids. Then came a scenario, we will have 1 kid. A lot of people I know around me, they have one kid. Then came another scenario, which is still an urban disease. I'll call it an urban disease, which has not gone to the rural India, that will have no kids. And then in some cosmopolitan pockets of India, I am seeing a new trend. We'll not have kids, we'll have dogs. I have seen people with 5 dogs, 6 dogs. We don't have kids, we want to have dogs. Now, if this is where the plight of Hindus is going to end up, I may not end up paying jizya, but my son and his son or daughter will definitely end up paying jizya. This is where it is going to head. So Bhagavad Ji is telling you still you are at 1.9. You can catch up. If you don't have two kids or at least possibly three, minimum two, and every couple must have two kids and possibly three, you are going to end up as a civilization. He's very clear. He's a political leader. Yeah, he's not a economic scientist. Huh? I'll come to the economics of it, but Bhagavad Ji telling you is very clear. If your fertility rate goes up, the Bharat ki fertility rate will go up. If the Bharat's fertility rate will go, Bharat will be able to hold. Now let's come to the economic dimension of it. What happens? Now today you are happy 800 million youth. Another 40 years, what will happen if you continue like this? You will have much older people in the country than the youth in the country. Now, who are going to earn? Who are going to work in factories? Who are going to work for army? Who are going to work in farm kisan? Who is going to do the mazduri? Who is going to do the executive, sales, marketing? You'll have no people left. So, if you don't have enough people burning, who will pay the taxes? How will you take care of this older population? Because the younger population earns, pays taxes, spends money. That is where the state is able to take benefits and keep the older people happy. Now, if there are no kids, how will you plan to have your old, your kind of old age? Today in India, we don't have a lot of old age homes because we don't need them, right? Because the family units are big. Beta, beti, koi maa baap ka dhyan rakh leta. They're able to take care of their parents. So now, for the sake of God, if you have no kids, so you will end up in some old age home. And imagine all the money in the world. And old age home is an old age home. And imagine if you have no kids, you have dogs. I'm very sure dogs cannot pay your bill for the old age home also. That much I'm very sure. And dogs have a life of 14 years. You have a much bigger life. So this westernization, which has crept into our culture and which is slowly, growing, and with this voguism coming in, and this is Western lifestyle coming in, and some women unfortunately believe, some very small percentage of women believe that having kids is a liability. We are not breeding machines. All this Western crap has been fed to you. But go and read the history of India for last 200-300 years. Read how the convergence happened. And read at the third or the fourth generation or fifth generation of every Muslim, which is go back to 5-6 generations, you'll see everybody has a Hindu name. How does those Hindus become Muslim today? You will understand what does the invasion do and what do the invaders do. And if you think your whole neighbors are going to be silent, no. They have this dream of Ghazwa Hind. And the date of Ghazwa Hind is 2047 or 48 maximum. And exactly if you don't wake up at 2024 to 2047, it's just around 20-22 years. And if Pakistan doubles, Bangladesh does another 10 crore, and here you will reach 30, you might have this fascination coming into reality. So population is not about putting your kids only to Ambani school. Population is not about putting your kids only to the best of the best universities. I studied at a government school. I have studied at a government school, Delhi government school. I didn't have enough money to go to a big school. I studied at the Delhi government school. I am what I am. I also went to Cornell University. I also studied at a government school. But if you're good, if life has opportunities for you, if God has destiny, you will reach what you have to do. Where did Narendra Modi study? He was selling tea at a platform. So the problem which has been brought into our mind is we should have very less children, we should have no children, we should enjoy life. And this problem of one child is dangerous. I've been telling about this before. And this disaster of no children is more dangerous. And this triple disaster of replacing children with dogs is more dangerous. I don't want to infringe into anybody's personal life, because here the topic of the discussion is this. I have given you the numbers. I have told you what happened in the world. Lebanon was converted in 40 years in front of you. Egypt 22 years, Iran 32 years. Look at the conversion. Why Bharat has not been able to they have not been able to convert Bharat even 1000 years of Islamic onslaught is your population was not on their side. But the population was good, and the Brahmins who were protecting the society. Even the invaders have admitted this is because of the Brahman we could not convert them. Now, if this children starts dying, if you have an aging population, your economy will turn bananas. It will turn into a disaster. And let me remind you one thing. With every 10 years today, by the virtue of medical science, everybody's life is increasing by 4 years. So let's say in next 20-30 years, my life will increase by 12 years by default. That is a global average. So the people are going to live a long life. There was a time our average is of 42. We have seen averages of 38 as well. Now it went to 50, 55. It went to 62. Now I think it's around 70, 76. And in next 20-30 years, it is going to go to 80, 85, 6. So even if some of you live in a fool's paradise, sorry to use that word, who think we are going to retire at 60, no, you have 25 years more to go. You're not going to even retire at 60, right? How are you planning to feed yourself for next 25 years? So a lot of things are changing around us, and in turn is the new reality of life. And you have a competing youth population who is your asset and who is also your biggest competitor. And then you have this Hindus who are diminishing. And there's a tipping point. You must have all seen those graphs and permutation combination. The tipping point is, there's a point when, let's say today, it takes let's say 1 crore of Muslim population addition takes, let's say, 3 years. At one point of time, it will only take 3 months. That is where the tipping point comes. After tipping point will just race up. You will not know when the game has gone out of you. Then the voting will change. Then we still talk on every day Muslim dominated constituencies, Muslim dominating things. You know what is happening in Sambal? What is happening in Sambal? 77% Muslim dominated. You can't do a survey. What happened in Kashmir? Why was Hindus booted out of Kashmir? Because they were Hindus. It's 98% Muslim dominated. What happened in Kerala? What is happening in Leicester? So Mr. Bhagwat has hit the nail on the head, and he's telling you, wake up, smell coffee. It's a SOS call. It's a SOS call. Wake up. You will not have time on your side. Still, you can control it. And thankful to our brothers who live in the rural India, they have 3-4 kids. They're able to balance it. If I look at some of the crazy insanity I see in the middle class and the upper middle class of having no kids, and these dogs and all the crazy things happening around. Why do we need? I have my partner, I'm good enough, and all that. This is not how the society works. I have given the economic dimension, I have given you the political dimension, I have given you the practical dimension, I have given you all the 3 dimensions possible. And you will not have a country. Bharat nahi rahega. You will not have a country. Remember, at 24%, you already had a partition. I'm not trying to, run Islamophobia, but I'm trying to give you some data and facts which are true, and call from a very seasoned leader who could not be more direct. So if at this rate we are not waking up, and what my problem is, I don't have the data. Even if when I looked deep into data, Sri sir, wherever the education is more, the fertility is less. I don't know what is happening with the Hindus. Where we have more education, the fertility is less. Where we have this UP Bihar, what used to call as a Bimaru belt, there the fertility is quite good. But where our education is more, the fertility is less. Even if you go down the South India, the fertility is quite less. Births per couple or per woman are lesser than the North India. But overall, we are still able to manage the show. But if this happens, and if the Muslim fertility goes to around 2.3, for it's right 2.4 right now, it can go to 3. If it goes around to 3, it might be a new population jihad. And population jihad will not give you more than 20-30 years. By the time you wake up, smell coffee, and get out of this Western imperialistic thought and wokeist leftist mindsets, it's over. Generation Z, Generation X, Generation Z, whatever you want to call them, but everybody faces a reality. And me and Sri Iyer were also Generation X and Y at one point of time. But today we're different individuals. So if somebody thinks I'm going to be youth and perpetually 19, that is not going to happen. We're going to reach our age and face these realities, which will look into your fact. And that day you will remember this broadcast, you will remember Mr. Iyer, me, and you will remember Dr. Bhagwat. He warned you on time. But you never wanted to listen to it. So this is a very, very serious thing for Hindus. And Hindustan is for Hindus. If Hindus lose Hindustan, there's nothing left for you. Where are you going to go? Muslims have 57 countries, Christians have 150 countries. What about you? Where are you going to go? So I don't think Mr. Bhagwat could be as direct. He has done his part. Now we have done our part of decoding it for you with numbers and giving you the implications. Now it's up to you. Sorry, dogs cannot replace kids. I'm very sorry. I have all the love and fascination for dogs, but dogs cannot replace kids. I will be very direct with you. I mean, this kind of things have to move out of the society and get out. And if some people can afford 3 or 4 kids also, why not? And हमारे यहाँ तो एक कहावत है ना, हर बच्चा अपनी किस्मत लिखवा के लाता है. Every kid is born with his luck. You are not able to go into build anything for him or if the God has destined or written in a destiny, as per Sanatan Dharma, the day and the time you are born, that determines your destiny. So you are nobody to make or break anybody's destiny. If it's destined, a chai बेचने वाला Narendra Modi बनता है. A person selling a tea on the tea stall on a railway station becomes Narendra Modi. That is what destiny is. And Ambanis and all lived in a chawl. Now they are today Ambanis. They are the biggest house in the whole world possibly. So it's not that you are going to make destiny and all. So we have to get out of this and look at this demographic time bomb. Before population jihad hits you, I think you wake up, smell coffee, and that is how We decode it on P Gurus and break it into you for the little fragments with all the information, because politically, economically, and practically, this falling birth rate is not sustainable, sir. This is not sustainable. And middle class and upper middle class, you have to really pull up your socks before it's too late. And I've seen one more thing I didn't want to bring her up. Usually in one child home, sir, there is a problem of this. Usually I talk to a lot of people in my consulting and all. One of my friends, he's a clinical psychiatrist. She told me that a lot of people who are complaining that their children have developed depression. Mostly it's a single child, right? Pampered, very much cared about, nobody to talk, nobody to play. It's all alone in the home and living in a digital world, and they're developing depression. You take out the phone from the day double AHT. So all these things are cropping up. The children are not going away. There are no cousins. Imagine your child doesn't have a brother, doesn't have a sister. No chacha, no mama, no fufa, no fufi, no masi. So what kind of a world are you trying to build around your kid? These are some of the things which you have to understand, because one child means no relation. Huh? When it's children, there's no chacha, no mama, no fufi, no mosi, nothing. That's not how the society works. And this is a problem which must be nipped in the bud. Still, we have the time on our side. 10, 20 years down the line is too late. It's water under the bridge. I think this is how I could decode it with numbers. I'm very sure you have got the message and why it is a SOS. It is a SOS. We're not trying to exaggerate it. It is a SOS. That is my limited take on it. Then we'll move to the next topic, unless until Shishar has to add something to it.
Yeah, thank you so much. A couple of things that I want people to keep in mind, viewers. One thing is that we will start calling the to be formed portion that is going to be Hindus in Bangladesh as Hindu Desh. In fact, I would request all of you to start tagging or hashtagging Hindu Desh, because what it is there are 12 million Hindus in Bangladesh. They are not going to be able to be accommodated in India, and why should they be? It is their land as much as everybody else's land. 200,
Correct.
250 years ago, there were not that many Muslims in Bangladesh.
Correct.
This has gone on a war footing. They have created so many Muslims there. And you have to now start to learn to fight, and we will help you. In fact, I'm very happy that Mamata Banerjee has said that UN should start putting its forces on the ground in Bangladesh to ensure that there is stability. In fact, you know what has to happen? India needs to first shore up the area near Chittagong, get that thing into India's control. Whether you put your armed forces in or whatever, I don't care. That part has to be first taken in, and then you start sorting out, okay, let's do population exchange, because Bangladesh Hindus are spread all over this country. You remember watching the video that General Ravi Shankar put, but his data is not accurate. I'm not sure. What I am told is that Bangladeshi population of Hindus, the Hindus in Bangladesh are spread all over, but there are some pockets where you can have higher concentrations. One of them is Chittagong, Rajshahi area, Dhaka, around Dhaka. So whatever it is, any place where you can actually establish this, Hindu Desh needs to be established. It can be in 3 or 4 pockets. For 70 years, we had pockets inside Bangladesh that were Indian territory, and we had pockets of Bangladesh inside India that were Bangladesh territory. Only after Modi we fixed all these things. I don't know how many of you remember. We all don't remember yesterday's problems. So how will you remember a few years ago when we did all this enclave business? We did fix that problem. So what I'm saying is Hindu Desh has to start resonating among Hindus. And that is one way to say you cannot run away with this thing. We will hit back. In fact, in Chittagong, Hindus are fighting back.
Correct.
They're not just walking away. And this is going to take a bigger dimension in United States. I give you my word, we have been very, very hard at work. In fact, I still tell the Hindus in India, why did you not come out in numbers when the protest in Bangladesh started? Even now, you are not doing it in numbers. Instead, you have the Kisans coming and making noise. These buggers have no tax to pay. Once you start paying taxes, you'll understand how precious money is. Anyway, this is the next topic we're going to talk about. Hindu Desh, Hindu Rashtra. Remember, Hindu Rashtra refers to Bharat. Hindu Desh is the Hindu portion of Bangladesh. They will get it. We will make sure they get it. Back to you, sir.
Correct, sir. I fully endorse your view. Hindu Desh and Hindu Rashtra That is the way to go. And I have to mention just two lines about the topic before we move to the Kisan. The politics of it. Now today, JDU is saying that BJP, RSS should consult before BJP before saying making such a statement. SP is saying that, Mr. Bhagwat is trying to scare and all. But if Mr. Bhagwat says something right, we can agree to it. So for a change, I see a change of the SP. And OSCG is saying that why don't you produce more kids and why doesn't Mr. Bhagwat and other marry? He was kind of hinting to that. He was trying to make fun of it. Why do you make the people who are bachelors as chief ministers and prime ministers? He was trying to make fun of it. Basically, the political slugfest has stopped. And I saw Mr. Stalin saying that you should have 16 children. I don't know whom he was referring to. And Chandrababu Naidu has supported that we should have more children, as a communities have more children. I think he again referred to the Hindus. So there's a mixed bag of political reactions to it. Only Mr. Owaisi has sulked. He's a bit confused because he thinks their people like their idea of population jihad is being called out by Bhagwat ji. So they're rattled. When this all mazar jihad, land jihad, law jihad, population jihad, there are 51 of 72 flavors of jihad which are going in India. So when each of that gets called out, then these people start getting rattled. Bhai, ye kya ho gaya? So the reaction is mixed. But I think for a change, I'm seeing Samajwadi is not completely opposing it. Bhenji has not spoken anything on it. And I think moreover, other parties seem to be in line, except Owaisi and people like him who are kind of. And I didn't understand JDU standard. Why should Bhagwatji consult with BJP before making a statement? It should be the other way around. So, but I don't know where do they get this immense or great knowledge from. I think they have more luminaries than we ever know of. Anyway, that is the political part of it. Ji.
अरे ओवैसी मियां, मैं तेरे को एक बात पूछता हूँ, तुम लोग 4-4 शादियां कर लेते, अब बीवी को घर में रहने देते, बच्चे पैदा करो। अरे खाना दाने के लिए पैसा नहीं है, तुम कहां से बच्चे पैदा करते रहते भाई? मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा। कितने लोग ऑटो चलाते, ऑटो का भी एक हद होता है, कितने लोगों का पंक्चर लगता है। मैं इससे नहीं कह रहा हूं। तुम जब तुम्हारे घर में 10-10 बच्चे हुए तो किसको पढ़ाते, किसको खिलाते? अब कहां से है पैसे, कहां है भाई तुम्हारे पास? रहने के लिए जगह नहीं है तुम्हारे पास। ये क्या बेवकूफी कर रहे हैं आप लोग? तुम एक लीडर हो, जरा समझाओ लोगों को। चलता नहीं है काम ऐसा। ये गजवा हिंद होने वाला नहीं है। इतना हम मूर्ख नहीं है। एक बार खा चुके 600 साल, अब नहीं चलने वाला है। हिंदू राष्ट्र बन के रहेगा। देखो,
बिल्कुल बन के रहेगा, बिल्कुल बन के रहेगा।
ये हवा की बात नहीं है, मानसिकता की बात है। हम कहेंगे ये हिंदू राष्ट्र है, तो हिंदू बनकर रहना पड़ेगा। यहाँ पर मानसिकता से तुम्हारा मजहब मुसलमान हो सकता है।
सर, हिंदू राष्ट्र था, है और रहेगा। When 85% of the population is Hindu, it is a Hindu Rashtra. Only the constitution is allegedly secular, which we have to change to a Hindu Rashtra. And our demand from Pre-Guru channel is declare it as a Hindu Rashtra. And also, this should be declared as a de facto home for any Hindu which is persecuted anywhere in the world. It should be a declared home for any Hindu or Sikh which is persecuted across the whole world. Even Jains, they should, if they are persecuted anywhere in the world, they should come here. They should have a place in Bharat. And Bharat has to think for Hindu, Bharat has to think the Hindu way, and Hindu interests have to prevail in Bharat because they can't prevail in Pakistan. Now, I want to just talk of the Pakistan with all these things going on, sir. There's one piece of news which has come in just now. Our naval chief says in a naval conference that Pakistan is building 62 ships and 1 submarine. And you know who is building in Pakistan? China. Now, you see how much of a war footing Pakistan doesn't have money to even to build 1 ship. 62 ships and 1 submarine. They are, according to the naval chief, our naval chief, they are prioritizing weapons over the people. But this is the same idea of Ghazwa Hind. China is literally building the arsenal for Pakistan in Pakistan. And they are trying to strengthen their navy and everywhere. What is the idea? Again, the idea is same, China, Pakistan, and few other Muslim countries will come and attack India one day. This is going to happen. I have been talking about it for months now. Almost a year I am talking about it. This is going to happen. Now, if you look at today Naval Chief statement, the darts start joining 62 ships, 1 submarines. Bikhariyon ke paas khane ko paisa nahi hai. They don't have a bloody 1 billion in bank. They will make 62 ships and 1 submarine. Who papa paise le rahe kya? It's China, Xi Jinping doing it. Xi Jinping and all the truths and traces, all the truths you do with China is all crap. You can't trust Chinese. They are arming your neighbor. They are giving weapons to your neighbor to destroy you. And with this population jihad happening, Imagine where India is heading, sir. That's why I demand there should be a Ministry of Internal Security separately. I've been shouting my lungs out. Home Ministry, theek hai. That has there are already a lot of on their plate. A Ministry of Internal Security is needed, much needed, so that this menace can be tackled. How are we going to handle this? So this is about it. So we'll discuss the politics. We are already in 30 minutes. So another 5-7 minutes we're ending because we have a lot of questions today. She said another problem is this Kisan protest. What is happening in the Kisan protest? That Bharati Kisan Morcha, this Sayukt Kisan Morcha, Bharati Kisan Parishad, all those old boys, they have again said today we'll come to Noida. Noida, they'll come to Mahamaya flyover. And 2nd day, December, we'll do the Gherao of the parliament. Again, same set of rules. Legalize the MSP. The procurement price, increase the prices by 64 to 65%. If you acquire the farmland, we should get 4 times the price of the market value of the land. And the kids of the farmer have to be given jobs. And all kind of things which are impractical and which are not sustainable. If you don't come, we are going to come and get out the Delhi, and we are going to choke the Delhi. And what is the position of Delhi, sir?
Oh, he forgot to ask one thing, Sumit ji. He forgot to ask one thing. He wants to own the whole moon. Go and do agriculture in the moon. He forgot that.
Good point. I think they will listen to kal ye aayega, moon bhi de do, Mars bhi de do. Okay, I'll ask Elon to make new rockets to send them to Mars. Now this is what is happening here. Now what is the push? I'll tell you, sir. Usually in Delhi we have schools closed for 3 months, winter break and summer break. Today, you know what is the plight, sir? Schools are closed because the pollution level is skyrocketing. It touched 1800 couple of days back. You know what does 1800 EQI mean? It means that if you are out in the open, in 30 minutes of exposure, you have a permanent heart and lung damage. Permanent heart and lung damage, 30 minutes of exposure. That is the reality of our lives, because you showed that day how much parali is burning in Punjab, right? So Kisan again. Now, then schools are closed. Last 15-20 days, schools are closed. Kids are not going to school. So first in Delhi, we have 3 months of holiday. Then we have this Kisan protest and all. Again, the schools will close for 2-3 months. Then we have this weather problem. We have a lot of winter, a lot of rain, whatever. And this AQA, another schools will close for 3 months. So for the sake of God, in Delhi, you know what we should do now? We should release the calendar which 3 months of the year will schools function. Earlier, when we were growing up, it was 3 months the schools will close, 9 months they will function, or 10 months. Now we have to reverse the calendar. She said we have to tell, okay, ye 3 mahina chalenge. These 3 months the schools are going to function. 3 months for Kisan protest, 3 months for this Andolan, 3 months for weather, and 3 months for something else. So the schools will close. Now, what the hell is this? How can you trample over my rights? How can you block the roads, and who is going to pay? I have to go to Oakland. It takes me 4 hours. Who is going to pay for my petrol? Why my kid can't go to the school? Why my wife can't go to her work? If I have to take somebody to hospital, why do I have to take 4 hours in the traffic? Who will pay for the wear and tear of my car? And how can you trample over my rights in the name of liberty? And some people in TV debates were telling me it is civil disobedience. If it is civil disobedience, then tomorrow, what if factory workers start to do civil disobedience? Taxi walas do civil disobedience. Doctors do civil disobedience. Engineers do civil disobedience. Plumbers, mechanics, electricians, everybody can do civil disobedience. Does that mean if you can get people on the road, you can do civil disobedience? And if you think you can get tractors on the road and block roads, that tomorrow if we middle class start hitting the roads and block the road with our cars will do the same job as your tractors are doing. Then what? So you want to have anarchy in the country, you want to break the economic backbone of the country, you want to have absolute chaos in the country, and you want to choke Delhi, and you want to make life of Delhiites and the functioning of the administrative, military, and the political apparatus in Delhi impossible. You want to dismiss the heart center of the power center of the Delhi. Now tell me something, if there's a farmer in Tamil Nadu, he cannot come and block Delhi roads. So that means by your logic, his demands will never be met. Kerala wala, he can't hit Delhi. Demands will never be met. Somebody in Gujarat cannot reach Delhi. Demands can never be met. Somebody in West Bengal cannot reach Delhi. Demands can never be met. Somebody in Kashmir cannot reach Delhi. Demands can never be met. So only the people who have access to the Delhi and who can choke and block the Delhi, their demands will be met. Is this the new normal we are looking forward to? Is this the new anarchy we are looking forward to in the name of civil disobedience? Is this how Delhi and this democracy will be run? You trample over my rights, my liberty, my right to live, my right to earn, my right of sending my school to children. And this is your liberty and this is your right. And it's because you are a farmer, you don't pay a tax. And my problem is I am a law-obedient, tax-paying citizen of India. And me, my family, my life, my livelihood, everything suffers because you think you have a right which is superior than my right. And where does the Constitution of India go, which promises us equal rights? Then what does the Constitution, what does the section, this Article 25 say? Now, how are your rights better than me? How are you superior than me? This is the height of political anarchy. You know why? You lost Haryana, you lost Maharashtra. Now, when you lost Haryana and Maharashtra, rattled, you don't know what to do. Again, look at the timing. When you lose major elections, then you want to come and flood the country and the roads of Delhi and the gullies of Delhi with anarchy, with this everything, and choco block Delhi. Make this unlivable. Anyway, this is a gas chamber, and make it such level that one day you'll say, Bhai, we don't want to live in Delhi, we want to go and run away. And Mr. Modi, never ever, sir, give complete statehood to Delhi. Still, you can control Delhi, you don't have a statehood. If Delhi is ever given a full statehood, then swear to God, even Mr. Modi, you can't reach your office. You can't reach your office. There will be a day you can't reach your office. You have to work from your home. This is what the things can go bad as. This is what is happening, sir. All timing, everything is a tamasha. You come with all unrealistic things, as if Nirmala Setharaman in the last room in her bungalow in 15 Safdarjung Road has a printing press where she prints money in the night. So she can print, she can ask these boys, yaar, aaj thoda zyada kaam karo, and they will print more, bundles of cash, and in the morning she will come and distribute it. What the hell is happening? Where is country going to find this kind of money? And why should your produce be guaranteed? Why a doctor should not get an MSP for his services? Why I should not get an MSP for my services? Why P Group channel should not get an MSP for their services they provide? If you are getting MSP, then everybody should get MSP. I'm producing bicycles, give me MSP. I'm producing bikes, give me MSP. I'm producing cars. I'm making surgical masks. I'm making my knives. Everybody give me an MSP. What is this going? And what is this? And Chidambaram can, okay. Yeah, there's somebody who can print money. Obviously, Sri Sarah has written a book. They are the people who can print money. Well, Nirmala ji can't print money, but there were some experts who could print money. This is the reality of Kisan Andolan, sir. Choco block Delhi. Get Delhi on its knees. Gherao of Delhi. This is what is the Kisan politics about. Last time they were coming with JCBs. They were coming with these bulldozers. Why do you need JCBs? Why do you need bulldozers? Now there is police in Noida. Your diversions are on. I mean, it's a hell to move around Delhi, Noida now. It will take you 4-6 hours if you're lucky. And with this pollution, with this cold coming in, with these things getting tough, and anyway, as a middle class person, you have to pay a tax on the salary, you have to pay a GST on everything. Then you have to pay this, you have to pay this, then you have to pay this, and at the end of the day, when you reach the office, you have to take 4 hours. So I don't know, are the tax-paying citizens of this country penalized for being law-abiding tax-paying citizens, or is it the muscle power, or is the street power which will determine how the democracy will be run? Is it still democracy, or is it become a mobocracy? I don't know. Or is it becoming that ultimately democracy through mobocracy? If you can get a bigger mob, you can have your say. If you can't get a bigger mob, if you can't be a part of the mob, and if you don't have the capability of creating a ruckus, sorry, you're nobody, you can't be counted politically. This is what is happening, because Sambal, the Honorable Supreme Court, said we should maintain law and order because Muslims started pelting stones. Dangai started pelting stones. While a Siddhi Vinayak becomes a Waqf property, November 2024, Sambal ka survey hona hai. You pelt stones, and Supreme Court says that law and order has to be maintained. You have to look at demographically sensitive place. Good. Same November 2024, Siddhi Vinayak becomes a Waqf board property. We are silent as Hindus. We are not pelting stones. We are not hitting the road. We are not blocking the traffic. No problem. No law and order problem. So if it means the Bombay Hindus come and start blocking the roads and pelting stones, then Siddhi Vinayak to chhodiye, Waqf will disappear. So is it that about how many stones can you pelt, or how many people can you get on the road ultimately? Then it becomes a law and order. It becomes a national issue. Or is it the rule of the law which has to prevail? These are the questions which have to be asked. In case of Sambal, it was a ASI site. A place of worship Act 1991, there's a clear provision. If the nature of the place has been shared, it is not covered under the Place of Worship Act. So how did a ASI monument become a mosque? And what will a survey do? And why survey cannot be done? Because that means 77% Muslim population, you can't even do a survey. But in 85% Muslim population, in 85% Muslim population in Mumbai, Siddhi Vinayak becomes a Waqf board property. Vasa. This is what is happening. This is what is happening to Hindus in India. I have been very clear and direct on it. I don't mince my words. This is the reality I'm telling you. And when Hindus go to the court, they say, don't go to the court, Mr. Hindu, because law and order is disturbed. Let's maintain peace and full harmony. I'm all for you. But I want to give you Mathura Kashi. I won't give you Krishna Janambhumi. And forget Krishna Janambhumi, Mathura Kashi. Now even your Siddhi Vinayak is my property, bhai. But I have the right. I'll go for Kashmir. As a Muslim, I will go for Mathura to the court. For Kashi, Gyanvapi, I'll go to the court. And because I have the Waqf Act, So I'll go for, I will claim your Siddhivinayak temple. You have to be silent. Mukesh Ambani ka ghar mera, Kolkata ki assembly meri, Kolkata ka high court mera, sab mera. 150-year-old, 1500-year-old village in Tamil Nadu. Well, what Islam is 1400 years is my property, right? The 200-year-old college in Banaras University is my property. And as a Hindu, I limit you at 1947. जो 1947 को status था, that is what the status is. But for me, I'll go 300 years back. 300 साल पहले नवाब फलाना को जमीन दी, इसलिए it's a वक्फ property. For the sake of God, tell me one thing. If the country is divided, you got Pakistan. Why do you need Waqf Act? Country got divided, you got Pakistan. Zameen mil gayi na. Why is the Waqf Act needed? Why the hell do you need Waqf board or act in India? And I was hearing that Chandrababu Naidu dissolved the Waqf Act, I think yesterday or today.
That's a joke here. That's a joke. What it is only board of use directors jo hote hain for Waqf of AP. That management had some bad apples, questionable people got into it. That was YSR government, Jagan Mohan Reddy. There was a court case. In the court case said that you have to dissolve the entire committee and reappoint all the people. That is what he has done. Basically, he is following court orders. Waqf is very much in place. It is just the Waqf management committee that has been dissolved. That's all.
I was surprised. That's why I said I'm not sure. Because when I looked at it, it didn't look to me real to me.
No. Don't get into any. No.
These are some of the, there's some of the daring facts I have told on the channel. This is all factual information, November 2024. And if Hindus, you still don't wake up. And if still vested interests will run this country, God save this country. And Hindus have to really, really wake up. Because we are tired. We have paid Zajia for 600 years, sir. After 60 years, I don't want my son and your grandson or your granddaughter to pay Zajia again. It's very tough. Look at the history. You will have your heart out and you will have your cries. You will have blood coming through your eyes if you read the history, which I have read. And actual history. Not given in the NCERT textbook, sorry. Read the actual history. There's a lot of history available. You will know how our ancestors are survived and how Sanatan Dharma survived. If you still don't wake up and you're carried away by the wokeism and leftist thought and westernized imposed thought and beliefs which will make you think you're superior. I was debating on a TV channel with a woman. She said, women are not there to produce babies. I said, ma'am, I never said that. I never said that. Women are there only to produce babies. We respect women. The highest respect for women in any culture is our culture. Because we have more versions of Mata than God. We have Trimurti, rest all is Mata. Except Trimurti, Ganesha, Kartika, rest all is Mata. Right? That is the respect we have for feminine. And somebody has put this in your women are not babies, child producing factories. No, they are not. But they carry the civilization to the next level. They breed they make our next generation strong. They keep the family together. They give values to the kids. They're the people who develop from kids to humans to, it was Jijabai who developed Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. That is the woman. That is the mother. Right? This is what we look in mirror. And this leftist and the Western thought, which has been crept into our minds, as that gives you some sense of superiority, and middle class and upper middle class is literally walked into this minefield. I hope and pray it reaches to some people. And if we can even get a few thousand or 100,000 people to change their thoughts, I think she said this will be the most productive broadcast or the vlog of our lives. That is where I ended. We'll take questions now.
Thank you so much. Now let's take a few questions. NN wants to know, this is the only best phase of Hindu unity in 77 years of India's independence. We should not miss it.
Bang on, brother. I agree.
Next one, please. George Fernandez wants to know, why is the world afraid of calling a spade a spade? Bharat should ensure they remain a Hindu majority country.
Can't agree more. I'm fully with you. We are calling it a Hindu Rashtra. Because there are Islamic countries, there are Christian countries, there are Jewish countries, there are Buddhist countries. What is the problem of having a Hindu country? Bhai, kya ho gaya? Where is wrong?
Next one, please. Magnet Ranga wants to know, Namaskar, Bhagwat Ji doesn't have anything but national interest, but isn't it necessary to bring in common civil code without any further delay?
Ranga said that is urgent and important. We fully endorse your view. But you want this depleting birth rate. After 20 years, it will be out of control. I have given you the numbers around you. Things will change. You have to control it now. I mean, uniform civil code might come after 6 months or 1 year also, but if the birth rate keeps on falling, you will miss the bus altogether. Then even common civil code will not be able to help you much.
Next one, please. Kushanan Keshav wants to know Hindus want to give their kids the best education and healthy life. They can't afford to have more than one kid, unlike them, who have no other agenda but to increase their population. Kushananji, I have some inputs on this one. Let me first defer to Sumitji. Aap boliye, Sumitji.
Sir, I believe that it is not a quality of education and all. It's not a quality of education and all. It is the quality. Education can be a public school. Education can be a money school. Education can be even the higher the those schools in OT and all. I have studied in a government school, personally speaking. My school, where I did my 12th from, was called Babu Ram Government Model Senior Secondary School, Delhi, Shahadra, Bolanagar, 32. I even have the address right now. And I'm in front of you. So it is not the quality education can be only given in the best of the schools. If you have the material, you have the capability, you can do. And today, education in India is quite affordable. In a normal public school, doesn't cost too much, unless until you want Amity and those expensive schools and IB and all. But that is how it works, right? So let's not have this notion only having one kid is giving best education and all. But eventually, if that kid tomorrow has to pay JGR, cannot move out, then what is the point of your education? Where will that education go? And what good is that education going to do? Political power gives you the power. If you lose political power, you lose geographical dominance and territories. Good or bad education doesn't matter. They are all when the demographies and the boundaries are intact. If they get diluted, look at Kashmir. You can be the most educated Hindu of Kashmir, but you had to live or die in a tent in a sunstroke. You know how many Hindus died of sunstroke in 90s? Thousands of them. How many Sindhus who were landlords and old big apple orchards were killed by snake bites? Thousands of them. Imagine the people who have hundreds of acres of orchards. They die in a bloody tent with a snake bite. Huh? They die in a tent with a sunstroke. क्या करोगे सेबों के बाग का? क्या करोगे paddy land का? My grandfather had 166 acres of paddy land. What will you do with that? What will you do with that? Gone, gaya. So let's not be naive. Huh? This is a serious thing. This is politics, sir. Politics is power. When things are intact, you can live and breathe in it. If the demographies, geographies, and territory change, everything changes, sir. Sir.
Kushananji, there are a couple of things that can be done by the government and also by individuals also. Going to school, getting educated, these were intended for you to be for lifelong a babu, to serve your master who was the British man, okay, Britisher. This thing got completely assimilated by the whole world, but today's world is not like that. You have high speed connectivity at home. You can homeschool children. Some things have to happen in India that will enable this thing to go to the next level. For example, the Vedic universities, there are lots of concessions given by the Indian government. How many philanthropists, how many billionaires have gone and started Vedic universities? Please tell me. Why are you not doing that? Because it is possible to give good quality education where you don't need to go to school every day. You go to school, let us say, to socialize. So there are 5 days in a week, 6 Saturday, Sunday to jaye nahi. So why don't you do 2 days on school, 3 days from home? Okay, everything continues. On the 3 days that kids are learning from home, have online classes. Did we not do it in COVID? Everything I'm suggesting today has already been implemented, tested, and working fine. There is nothing I need to tell you more. Parents can have the same option. 2 days from go to work and 3 days work from home. Then what happens is the days children are home, one of the parents can be at home. See, you are solving a lot of problems. Next, traffic on the road goes down, pollution goes down. There are lots of things like this that can be done. Once the kid is taught mentally that, look, there are these sites, there are these websites, there are these channels that give you accurate, good information, they get educated. What you're going to get in the school can be brought sitting from the comfort of your home, sitting in the sofa you like, eating the popcorn you like. Only thing is you are charging your brain. It is possible. It is doable. In fact, P Gurus was one of the few channels who brought children who did not go to school at all. They went to Vedic Pathshalas. They understood Sanskrit. They understood the Vyakaran in Sanskrit. You know what happened after that? Once they understood how the language construction was there and how to break things down, they could apply it to any science they touched, any technology. It's the same thing. Our forefathers have left us with a huge amount of treasure. You remember Siddharth, right? I don't know how many of you remember. Siddhartha, the son of Vijaya, who co-wrote the book Snakes in the Ganga with Rajiv Malhotra. These are not people who are preaching. These are people who are practicing and telling you it can be done. Please think about it. There are lots of people like this now. I'm hearing at least a half a dozen families I know who have switched to Vedic school. You learn Sanskrit first. You learn Sanskrit, your basic bhasha. Any other mother tongue can be easy after that, including Tamil.
Correct.
So
Correct.
once
And
you have that basic, right, afterwards it teaches you how to take something, break it down to its smaller pieces, understand it, build it back together. That's all there is in life. It doesn't matter whether it is medicine or civil engineering or electronics or computer science. All of them follow the same rules. In fact, if you want to be a computer science programmer where you think there's a lot of money, you need to know language. Next question, please.
I just have one line to add. Sir
Yeah.
made a very important point here. You know how many universities in Germany are treating Hindu sciences like astrology, Vedas, and all? Tens of universities. I think somebody told me few, I think 120 or some more than that. And how many universities are doing in India? And how many universities have we started in India? She said, made a very valid point. Nothing. Why can't we study that? And let me tell you another thing, sir. We have 300 million students and we have capacity to accommodate another 5 million, 5 crore, मतलब 30 crore बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं. We have capacity to, we have ideal capacity for another 5 crore. So there's not dearth of education and all in India, but you know, it's the standard we choose. But this is also politically important because you and me may not live, but our children will live to see that day. Next.
Oh, by the way, if you want to know more, it's Agastya Gurukulam, Agastya Gurukulam. This is the online education portal that Vijaya ji runs, and you can get more information from there. All the students there are, some of them are part regular college, regular school, and part Vedic education. Some of them are full-time Vedic education. There are what I would call as Gurukuls available today in India, where you can send your child for 6 months, 1 year. They learn these things, then they come back. It's an amazing transformation. SAT, JEE, this exam, that exam, everything they are acing it. They are acing it because they understand the funda. This is something that IIT kids always try to use. IIT grads. Are iska funda acha hai yaar. Ye funda kya hai? Fundamentals. Fundamentals are the same, and to learn to make the best use of that, learn Sanskrit. And our human brain, we are only using 1/6. 5/6 is waste.
कुछ नहीं करते.
We can use so much more of our brain. We are not using our brains. Next one, please.
No, we didn't answer this. We didn't answer the previous one.
Yeah. Oh, Kalyan Raman wants to know, yes, a very good question. How to make Hindu youth understand this necessity to have more children when they think everything, including education, could not be fulfilled for future generation easily? Kalyan Raman ji, I was trying to answer the same question. You don't have to go to the best private school, give 40,000 rupees a month fees to get the best education. You can get it at home. Take a step back. There is a guy called Khan. I don't remember his first name. He's a Pakistani American. He has a thing called Khan Academy. Very simply, very, very easy way to understand physics concepts, science concepts, everything. This kid is a genius. He started it because some of his cousins wanted to know. Then Khan Academy became popular. And Khan Academy now has Bill Gates funding into it also. Because he said, Bill Gates said, my kids are learning from here. What is there? How many of you have looked at Khan Academy? Yeah, the name sounds Muslim. So what? Knowledge is knowledge.
And sir,
there are lots. Many of you don't spend the little extra time to understand where to get information. It's, and I can understand that. Uncle Google will point it to you. But how many of you know that there is an academy called Khan Academy that simplifies a lot of the more complex concepts that even parents may not understand? Like tier 2, tier 3 cities, right? Parents are farmers. They don't understand gende ka fool hokar bhi fool kyun nahi hai. This is a botany question. There are some things that in evolutionary you have to go and understand. So all these things are available on the web.
And I'll tell you something.
Thinking differently.
That the locality I live, there you can find a school which is as low as 600 rupees a month, right? And you can go to a school which is around lakh of rupees a month. Same locus, 5 kilometer radius. It's not that only 1 lakh is the option. It's not only 600 is, and there's a government school also which is free. So from practically 0 to 1 lakh, we have options available. Choose one. But if we all want to go to 1 lakh wala school, then obviously then our 3 generations must have one kid, which is practically not possible. That is where the problem is. I told you, we all everybody wants to go to Doon school, Ambani school, Uti wala school, and pay 20 lakhs of tuition. Well, that is not easy. But it's not, education is not there. By the grace of God, in our country, still education is very, very cheap. Very, very cheap, and you have all the varieties available.
Next one, please. E wants to know, we need government schools and tax rebate for parents. Naturally, high school fees, increase in child rearing price, our population, general population control. So proper government help. Don't depend on government for everything. We can do this thing with our hand. I'm telling you, first spend some time. Is Sri just talking from out of his head, or is there reality? Check online. Find out the question that your kid is trying to answer today in his or her homework. Go and look on online to see what is the answer that you can provide. All you have to do when you are giving the answer is you have to provide the links also, saying that this is, I got it from this particular link, and avoid Wikipedia, because Wikipedia is motivated. There are many other channels that are the sites that are accurate.
Correct. And
So this is a habit that you can form, and we do that in P Gurus. Whenever we put out videos, you go to the description, in the reference links we provide you extra links, so you can go and understand it in more depth. That is the way. That is good journalism. So please understand, there are lots of options available for you. Once you train your child to start thinking this way, right, they won't even need you. They will do the homework themselves. Most importantly, you have to understand the concepts. Get the basics right, then everything else is easy.
I have one more suggestion here. You know, all people are watching this broadcast anywhere from the world, and who will watch this in due course of time. I know all of you are affluent people, well-to-do, middle class, or maybe rich, or very rich also. Can I request you one thing? You all have a kamwali who is coming to your home, right? Helping you with the home things. Can we take a pledge that you will at least help the person with the education of their 2 kids or 3 kids? I do it. I'm not trying to preach you what I don't practice. I do it for all the people who help me. Can you at least do it for your kamwali? If you can just do this, swear to God, we can change Bharat in a few years. Can we all take a pledge this? You all can afford this 1,500 rupees, 2,000 rupees a month. And that's what they take. They don't go to Ambani schools. They don't go to Doon schools. And 500 to 600 is the education expenses, including kitab copy for a kid for a month. 2-3 kids, 1,200 rupees, 1,800 rupees. Can we do that? Can we take a pledge? Itna to kar sakte hain. I know a good drink or a party or a bash in a 5-star hotel costs 25,000-30,000 rupees. And if in this 1,200 rupees you can have 2 kids going to the school, or in 1,800 rupees you can have 3 kids, help them to educate. This is how the society will change, and we'll be able to handle a lot of things. But she said, told you everything Modi ji will not do. There are some things which we can also do. Next question. Sri sir.
Thank you so much, Dinesh Kumarji. I was just, Sachinji, I sent you something on WhatsApp. Can you take that link and post it, please? Heard US is in pardon spare. Please pardon me of my son sins. IRG, what have you committed, Dinesh? Why? I don't know. See, you know something? When you go and say that these are all the things sins I committed, then you give it to a padre. The padre gets all the sins. You get the punya from him. He gets all the sins. Why do you want me to take all your sins, bhai sahab?
Hunter Biden. इसे कहते हैं पुत्र मोह. Mahabharata was on putra moh, right? Let's not forget it. And our Maharashtra election was on putri moh. I told you on putri moh. Putri. Suleji. Supriya Suleji.
Next one. One S. Sanjay wants to know, Sumit Peer, Ghar Wapsi, funding from outside for poor Hindus, also shutting down conversion of Hindus by Islamists and Christians. Go ahead, Sumitji.
Ghar Wapsi is घर वापसी is one thing, sir. But उसके बाद, can we take responsibility of one Hindu parivar and help them? Can we spend 2-3 thousand rupees? देखिए, revolution will not happen. Sorry, I mean, pardon me, because I speak from my heart. Revolution will not happen by watching only YouTube videos or at the most liking them. तन मन धन से जुटना पड़ेगा. तन मन and dhan, तीनों से जुटना पड़ेगा. If you start contributing by tan, man and dhan, things will happen. Things will change. Without dhan, nothing is going to happen. I can be as candid and as direct with you. Without dhan, nothing will happen. माँ लक्ष्मी के आशीर्वाद के बिना कुछ नहीं होता. So what you have to do is, your commitment is there, your man is there, but also your dhan has to be there. Dhan means that you have to contribute to the cause. You have to contribute to the cause and make sure that the cause is being done. So we have to spend these 3-4-5,000 rupees a month for this cause, and then only the cause will move. नहीं तो सर नहीं बनेगी बात. But I gave you the example of, educate the kids of your kamwali who is doing the work for you. Tell her तुम्हारा पढ़ाई बच्चों का मैं देख लूंगा. That is how you build the Hindu Samaj. Next question.
ZR wants to know, it is so true and sad that today's society thinks cars and dogs replace kids. How can we change this?
This is a very interesting aspect, because luckily this is a disease in some of the super cosmopolitan pockets. I don't want to name them, but I have lived in some pockets, so I understand. Thank God this is not spreading across the tier 2, tier 3 cities and the rural India. This is the westernization which has creeped into your lives. But unfortunately, how many, if God forbid, you don't have kids, some biological problem, medical problem, how many orphans we have in India? Why can't you go and adopt a kid? Why can't you give kid a lease of life? If I had been younger, I might have adopted one more kid, and I would have adopted a kid. It's not I don't have my kids, but just to give somebody a lease of life and bring up a life and give him a chance of this life. So, these are the things, rather than buying expensive dogs, and go and adopt 1 or 2 kids, give them a life, give them a chance to live. If God has been not very kind with them, but let's do what we can do. In Manushya Yoni is the only Yoni where you can change your karma. In any other Yoni, you can't have the capability to change your karma. But in Manushya Yoni, you have the capability to change your karma. Do that. Do it. What stops you? And this has to be driven as a social revolution. You have to come hammer and tongs on such people. This has to be opposed by the society. Sorry, dogs cannot replace kids. I don't buy this logic. You can have a dog also. I have no problem. But I can't say I will not have kids. I'll have dogs. It doesn't work. Sorry.
Vijay Kumar Srivastav is saying, do you think Bhagwat Ji has made a warning call for Hindus? Why Muslim leaders are burning? Quit Sharia followers, Hindustan. Soon this slogan becomes in practice. Namaskar. Quit Sharia followers.
You see, brother, it's very simple. When population jihad is being called out by Bhagwat Ji, obviously some people will have irking. Takleef hogi, kya kare? Mirch lagegi. We need to send them a lot of burnol. But this is what it is, the reality. When bluff gets called off, when Al-Taqiyya gets called off, it's all Al-Taqiyya. I told you the most dangerous weapon than a nuclear bomb is Al-Taqiyya. And remember, bina dadi mooch ke Maulana zyada khatarnak. Owaisi ji has a dadi mooch, you still kind of brand him into one. There are a lot of them who don't have any dadi mooch, very clean shaved. Will look more Hindu than you, will also put a tribun and put a bindi in Navratras. But these people are more dangerous than an Owaisi. Owaisi at least jo hai samne bolta hai. He doesn't hide his emotions. But a lot of them will play with you. They'll try to be yours. नवरात्रों में बिंदी लगा के आएंगे, वैसे दाढ़ी मूछ माथे पे त्रिभुवन लगाएंगे, टीका लगाएंगे, भजन गाएंगे, हनुमान चालीसा पढ़ देंगे. But these are the people who have to be more careful about. कहते हैं ना, बेड़ के खाल में बेड़िया, वो ज्यादा खतरनाक है.
Next question, please. I have another video to play. Just stay tuned. Before we end, because this is a very important message for everyone. Prashant KK wants to know, how different is the terrorist who built chemical warfare and those stubble burning terrorists?
Let's not compare the two. This stubble burning problem is more of a political problem, and if government wants, they can control it. Again, the intention of these people is not to kill people. But the idea of the terrorists is to definitely kill people with these chemicals. These people are getting the political patronage, and there is no penalty for their actions. That is why this is happening. But the intention definitely is not to kill the people. They're just trying to be save their money, time, and be complacent. Wherein the terrorists are definitely have a motive and mission to kill people, sir. They're two different things, I would say. Thank you, sir. Kiranji. Jahangir,
Go ahead and answer the question. I have to take care of.
Name and shame Hindus, Hindu in name only, plus very back push against those holding the nation heritage. Silence is painful. Yes, Jahangir bhai, it is quite right. Silence is painful. Political correctness is painful. We have to start calling out. There is a problem. Call spade a spade. Addressing the problem and knowing the problem is 50% of the solution. If you try to beat around the bush and try to pretend there is no problem, that's where the disaster happens. So, this name only Hindus is a problem, and these, and honestly, name Hindu, only Hindus is a problem, and these Muslims are pretending to be Hindus or trying to be Hindu custodians and talk about Hindus. I know a lot of people who run these YouTube channels also, and their people tell me, वो तो इसलिए करता कि like और subscriber आ जाते हैं. He was only taking the Hindu side because a person, I don't want to name, because like or subscriber aa jate hain. Before he and his cousin told me one day we'll befool Hindus by doing this. So these are the things which we have to know, and we have to call spade a spade. That's what we are calling in P Gurus. We are trying to decode what Bhagwat ji said. We are trying to decode what did he exactly mean. And I've been arguing on the TV channels today. He's not a population scientist, neither economist. Political leader hai bhai, political message de raha. Understand it.
Next one, please. Vishy Ramalognam, thank you so much. First, we should remove secular word from constitution.
I am with you. Yes. Socialist.
One, yeah. Thank you, Vishy. Super sticker. Thank you, Full Metal Heart. Some say Muslims will stabilize at 18 to 20%. How? I don't see it.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
Can you have the picture, please, before we go to the next question? Yeah, go ahead.
I tell you one thing. If let's see the video then.
No, not this way. Not this way. Oh boy, not clean. Okay, let's do it this way. So, can you expand? Fantastic. Okay, all right. I just want to explain to you what this is. This is Vijayaji's second son. His name is Ashok, and this is Stanford, just outside the Stanford campus. He's doing his master's, okay, and he's going to the college in bicycle. And you know what he's wearing? You want to take a guess, Sarji?
Dhoti.
Dhoti.
Dhoti is my guess.
And his entire education was in Gurukul. This kid is so talented, I tell you. I mean, I spent half an hour, my hair started growing again.
Awesome.
And Ashok is, and I asked him, Ashok, how does it feel going to Stanford in a Veshti? Veshti is the Dhoti's equivalent in Tamil. And he says, there are people who cross-dress. They come to class like that. All this LGBTQ, everything they say. He said, I see everything in a classroom. So I said, okay, I'll show who I am. So he wears this and goes. Not every day maybe, but he does wear it. Look, people ask me also sometimes, in a very satirical way, oh yeah, it's all good for you to wear a vibhuti and come to shows. Do you go like that to stores? Of course I do. I have friends who have started wearing now vibhuti. They get asked in fact, many people ask me, why are you wearing ash on your forehead? Or sometimes they'll ask you, what is it on your forehead? Did you cut yourself? Because they think it could look like something else, like a paste or something like that, right? So I explain to them. Everybody understands. See, most of the American public is Christians.
Yeah.
And the first line is ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I say, listen, you say it, I do it. I wear ash on my forehead so that I stay grounded, that finally I know that's where I'm headed. At the end of my life, I'm going to be ash. So stay grounded. Don't let the ego get to your head. That's all it is. People understand it so easily. And he's a product of Gurukulam. And I have given you a couple more links. Sachinji, I have sent you a couple of more links on WhatsApp. What we need to do is spin all these things together as a single one, because there is additional information also about Agastya Gurukulam, personal experiences of parents, how they manage it. Because I don't want to just like that airy fairy say something, guys. I did this about a year ago. The interviews, I did it a year ago, and then we followed up. I think 3 or 4 interviews came. Please take a look at them. I'm not just saying that this is a good to have thing. It is a must have now. Your children will be much more brilliant. Much more brilliant. Next one, please. Full Mental Heart, thank you so much. One, India needs to make deal with Bangladesh and Pakistan with money, and also give money to poor Muslims to leave. They'll take the money and stay. What kind of... sorry. Use temple treasure to convert poor Muslims. I think Full Metal, you are full scale idealist, man. It doesn't happen that way. Making deal with Bangladesh to send at least 1.4 crore Muslim and take 1.5 crore Hindus itself will ensure permanent Hindu majority. There are 1.5 crore ex-Muslim. Full Metal Heart, nobody is going to leave India. The lifestyle here is better. Okay, let us accept it.
Correct.
India tried to improve the lifestyle of Bangladesh. In fact, Bangladesh grew tremendously under Sheikh Hasina and under the benevolent guidance of Modi. It did grow, and there are some stats that I don't want to reveal today. I'm still doing some research, but Bangladesh, these elements, unless they are taken care of and actively dissuaded from thinking about going after minorities, nothing is going to happen. That's why I keep telling that India needs to shut down its madrasas. There is no more trying to regulate what is going to be taught in madrasas. Shut them down. Shut them down.
बिल्कुल. और जमीन दे दी, पाकिस्तान बन गया, वक्फ बोर्ड की कोई जरूरत नहीं. There's no note for वक्फ बोर्ड and act. जमीन की या पाकिस्तान बन गया ना. Now why do you need वक्फ बोर्ड and वक्फ बोर्ड for what? Why? What is the Waqf board business about?
And I can also tell you, some of you will point out, with 240 seats, Modi government cannot bring about these changes. You know what? There are leaders in BJP who can bring about these changes. मैं दावा करके बोलता हूँ. I'll give you 100% guarantee. Don't bullshit that argument out. Next one. Full Metal Heart, thank you so much. Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, except Hyderabad, Kerala growing ex-Muslims, Assam M-fertility, to West Bengal, UP, Bihar leading more to do with development, Maharashtra also low. Full Metal Heart, you don't know what is being taught in madrasas, okay? The biggest problem for Kerala population today is for its Christians, because they are seeing the highest number of love jihad cases happening.
सर एक गाना आपको याद,
why this is happening?
सर मुझे एक गाना याद आएगा, जो बोएगा वही पाएगा, सुख दुख है क्या सब फल कर्मों का, जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, जैसी करनी वैसी भरनी, सुख दुख है क्या सब फल कर्मों का. सिंपल सी बात है सर, सिंपल लॉजिक ना.
Full Metal Heart, you are on a rant today. But please understand, have Muslim made one child cripple, one son, but got operated. There are also other things that are at play here. I have talked about this. Look, they have to open their ears. They have to listen to what we are saying, not just hear what we are saying. And for that, you have to talk to them one-on-one. The first thing is understand what you are being what they are being taught. They are being taught to hate you. That is where the problem starts. That's where the problem starts. I'll also tell you one thing, viewers. No Pakistani will come into India because their hatred of Hindus is so much that they cannot bring themselves to us. इसके पास जाकर मैं भीख मांगूंगा.
इससे अच्छा तो मैं मर जाऊं.
हाँ, चुल्लू पर पानी में, वो भी
मैं कराची के पोर्ट में जाके कूद जाऊं. रेत का बोतल बांध के.
So next one, please. Thank you so much, Hitesh Sharma ji. And this was a very interesting session, very thought provoking, in my opinion. Yes, some of us were getting a little emotional about it, but it was necessary. It was
Yes.
necessary because it is something that we all know, but sometimes you have to say it. You have to put it out there. So for those who are not in our mind wavelength, they understand our wavelength. This is not something that's going to go away. So
I have I have one
go
small
ahead.
thing,
Go
sir.
ahead. Yeah.
When you run a startup, there's something called as an elevator pitch.
Yes.
Elevator pitch, you get a CEO of a company or a VC, you're getting from a 0 level to, let's say, 20th level. In 18, 15 seconds, can you explain the pitch to me and he buys to your idea? That's called an elevator pitch. What does elevator pitch means? Jitna direct bologe, jitna seedha bologe, the more direct you speak, the more clear you speak, the message gets more clear. And what we do at P Guru channel, we are not trying to be politically correct. We are speaking direct. We are speaking on facts, figures, data, and speaking direct. So it's again this program is our elevated pitch to a million or more people to get our message loud and clear. Give us this hour of your life. I'm very sure we'll be able to liberate a lot of souls. Namaskar. Sir, let's take the
Sorry.
Ashura Mahadev.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful session. I am sure you're going to like, share, and subscribe the video and help the channel to grow, because this is an initiative for Desh and Dharma, and I'm very sure you're going to help in that. On that note, Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram, and Har 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 Mahadev.
Mahadev.